From Waterloo, Iowa, 22 years old. Yes, I'm not a baby. And you know what? I'm not even gonna say too much. Just, I'm happy to be here. That's it. Let's see. It's 2024 in the new year, yet I fear the further we move in time, the more we travel backwards. My mind is fucked over by this concept of being free. Finally, respect encourages everyone, yet I am freely forgotten, ridiculed, exploited, and exhausted, fucked over by freedom. I feel weird. I feel my kind are seen as children. My gut feeling is that we're seen as infants that should be happy to roam around free. We are no longer in chains. But again, my brain refuses to accept that we wear chains as jewelry, that our ancestors were once enslaved in. Like, this is a joke or something. Like, we didn't have Jim carry me and my people into crow laws, getting struck down by crowbars because the moment we chose to freely roam, we get foam leaking out of our mouths. Some getting gunned down, others getting lynched. Out of that starting rotation, America chooses to let shine. Somehow we're the only ones getting bitched. I'm sorry, I mean getting benched. There's a lot of weight on my chest. I feel like I gotta bench and press more than men next to me. I gotta prepare for war because I'm unsure of how long I'll be free. With the only thing complex about my freedom is my complexion. To freedom, I make a small correction. It's not free to live. It's everything cost. I am free to explore, but I can never afford to be lost. You see, freedom is a lie. Because even at birth, being born the way I was, to live is like already being prepared to die. So what if people get mad, and to hell if they feel scorned with this? You may have feel like you adapted to my dark, but you don't know shit about it unless you was born in it. I have yet to claim my freedom. I have yet to appreciate life the way it's meant to be appreciated. And for the love of God, I'm still waiting for that love from God to be reciprocated. I'm free. But I won't know freedom like skyscrapers and planes. I'm free, but my grandpa's in jail due to tough on crime campaigns. So how about so free that I think I could find more freedom by having my name on the grave? Life should never be so inescapable that I could think to find more freedom than death. Don't you think I feel pain when knowing this? Knowing that since the age of 10 years old, my Uncle Ben had to show me and my friends how to keep watch. Knowing that we'll always be looked at as aliens. I used to watch cartoons for harmony, but too bad being realistic in this world means being unfavorable to those who don't think of you as ideal. I have no prejudice. I only wish for harmony. But I can't say that we live in unity when I know there are small communities that foster hatred for immigrants that call America home. I know I'm not alone and feeling like an outcast when you fight for a country, but they barely respect you. How do you think it feels to look for acceptance in your homeland, but they reject you? Who do I have to really connect to, but I don't expect you to understand my freedom? Because in America, nobody will understand this pain like my people when it comes to my freedom. Step up. Yeah, right there. Thank you. Woo! I've been using the mic for like 5 years, still not working for real. Um, yeah, man. Before I get into the pieces, I would just like to introduce myself. My name is Sabir Muhammad, also known as Clue, the spoken artist. I like to blend styles with years of public speaking, battle rap, speaking on black relations, equity, love, and hopes to inspire my community and fellow artists. And that's all I'm about. What does it mean to be American? I think I would need like a million stanzas just to answer what it means to be American. Because what are we, the greatest country in the world? Do I swirl in my pockets trying to pay for no taxes and I'll be stunned? But don't say shit to me when I get my tax refund. You see, I don't hate my country. I just hate what we value. Shall you be worth more than $1 even if you were to die over currency? Currently, I see a lot that I despise within the U.S. You suggest that with hard work, good things will come. Just be patient. But what if I work my life away never to make vacation? I hate that notion that if time doesn't move slower, there's a people who need to move faster. What are we rushing towards? Death? Quicker casket? I'm just asking, how many graveyard shifts must you work before you start to look at life different? I put in so much work in the nighttime, hoping that in the AM I don't land in the ER. I see America a whole different way. Can I say that we should be questioning what's free in America, yet we will spend money chasing the fantasy instead of facing the reality that we're buying into some bullshit, like how guns are promoted? And I know this to be true because even I think I might need a piece that's mine. Maybe you'll give me a peace of mind, knowing that I can choose to take your life if you were to try and take mine. And I've never taken a life. I never have. That's something my grandmother was real keen on, and I feel quite strong about it. But I can't say that living in a society like this, I haven't thought about it. Look at how we talk about Palestine and Israel, and yes, what they're going through is real, and I feel we will be in a similar predicament. Maybe we don't take care of our shit as American children. Haven't we tried being free from this land feel a long time ago, but we get forced into battle? And they call that bravery. But who am I fighting for? Is it you? Is it me? We, this country? It's put me in a state of mind that we have never been united. They say it's all for one. But I truly believe it's everyone for themselves. To be American now is to be prepared for anything. So believe me when I say I am. I know I said I wasn't willing to die by the gun. But at this point, I think I'm just as willing to live by it too. Don't you think as Americans, we're more accustomed to dying than we are to living? And you want me to be giving my trust to fake-ass governments that was endorsing drug dealing and making that snowfall. So to keep it a Benjamin Franklin, we ain't never been no saints. I ain't trying to paint nor illustrate negatives onto our great Constitution. But what I think it means to be American is to entertain the problem rather than to find a healthier solution. Rethink. Are you proud to be American? And that's the first one. Unfortunately, that was one of the hardest hitting ones. So I had to get that one out the way, man. This next piece is a little touchback from my childhood, and yeah, I call this one "Beat the Streets." I tell people I'm 22 now, with the baby's face. I often think back to the times where I was meddling in grown folks' business and my mom told me to stay in the child's place. I grew up on Cutler where me and my cousins do a lot of things from breaking bottles in alleyways to finessing next door neighbors with loose change. I wanted to mow grass. What you know about cutting greens so that you can make green? What you know about breaking things so that you can make things? You see in school, you're addressed by your first name or your last name, but in my neighborhood, you were addressed by your nickname or your slave name. In my neighborhood, violence was supposed to be fun to me. Fighting was one. Playing with fire was cool until friends got infatuated with guns. I knew about hide and go seek. And I was very young when I found out about hide and go get it. You see, in my neighborhood, there's no tattletelling, no snitching about who done it or did it. But I always laugh at memories that come from the past because I know what would happen last. At home, I would undergo interrogation. There'll always be somebody there to whoop my, if you know, you know. But I must say I found identity in my neighborhood. At least something to that equivalent. My dad told me you could be a man with many talents, but you know nothing until you know discipline. I knew my father's relatives. but I was so much closer to my mother's side, her nieces, her nephews. They were her pride. See, my family always rolled for me. So in return, I had love for mine. Especially one of my cousins, from the day he was born to the day he died. I wanted to be like fam. I wanted to get locks like he got. I wanted them to look like him. I even slowed down my way of speech just so I could talk like him, man. You don't understand. Cuz was the smoothest. And nobody ever gonna walk like him. And that was a man with a golden heart that was taken from us. Don't you know I ask God all the time, why did you take him from us? Knowing bullets are like life. Both traveling one way. Never returning back to the point in which it originated. I saw my cousin's face powder like baked goods that was lubricating like public figures. We still don't know how he got assassinated. Can somebody explain to me why does death in the black community he treat like art? Why is so fascinating? With us killing each other off, I bet there are men placing bets while they playing golf, seeing how long it will last. Why does black life have to associate itself with eternal darkness? Why couldn't I roam free without drugs, sports, and distraction? Why does it take a victim to tell these stories? Why was I only 14 thinking about how I was gonna make it past 40? Wow, niggas sipping the 40 and pouring out one for the dead homies, and they pour out another one, and the more they pour, the more I felt that much more lonely. I used to ask God all the time, is this a life I really want or not? Like Pinocchio, I just wanted to be a real boy, but America always tends to make the black man a juggernaut. I want to get a win. But being in the condition I'm in, I have to settle for defeat. And the only thing that crosses my mind every day is if I'm ever going to find a way to beat these streets. Whip out some new shit. New shit. All right. All right. All right. So, young intellectual, please think outside of the box. Young love, do not keep all that is pain boxed in. Young learner, study beyond classroom that was founded by box methods. Young icon, do not conform to the box. And young life, understand life is not a routine. I mean, the reason I put emphasis on the word young is because of its equivalence to what is fresh. By definition, to be young is to have lived and to have existed for only a short amount of time. I know too many of my kinfolks that I will never see again. And I know too many of my elders that have lost their youth. I often feel that our sense of morality is forced by our fixation on mortality. May I say, tell me why time never slows down, rewinds, it takes time to stop, but people do. How do we not understand a crash happens before the minds are elsewhere? We get blindsided. A lot of my blood crashed out because their minds went to getting get backs. Because we understand when something's gone, it's not merely something you can get back. I'm not ignorant. For I have my views on maturity. How the older times about gunplay and just boxing. How the older times were better because you had radio boxes. The more mature you get, the older you get and closer you get to laying in a box. That's all I got for you right now.